We're back with part 4 of the King Edward's Dance Tour. This time we're covering the North Coast, Standard Wharf in Orcabessa, and Altary Beach Club in St. Ann. King Edward's was a 1950s, 1960s Jamaican sound system owned and operated by George and Vin Edwards. With DJs and selectors, Lord Comic, Red Hopton, Willie Penny, Bluebeard, George, Primo, and Jesus. In the 1950s, when King Edward's would play at Standard Wharf, it was a banana wharf with large ships coming in, dropping anchor in the bay, and smaller boats running back and forth to deliver bananas to the big ships. When they were young, George and Vin would take bananas on a cart driven by a donkey to be loaded up onto these ships. Standard Wharf was an open-air dance location, very, very large, where hundreds and sometimes thousands of people would gather, especially during the holidays. People would be transported from a pickup location at the Ward Theater and driven to Orcabessa for a Sunday dance. Being an open-air location, it was basically just an area beyond the beach itself. You can see the ships that are there now. Much of the dance area is now overgrown, but there would be food, drink, fresh fish being served, old-time rhythm and blues being played. One of these blue ships in the bay was used in one of the James Bond films where it was blown up. While visiting, we talked to a man by the name of Coombs, featured here. He was in attendance back in the 1960s for some of the dances, and here he describes some of his experiences. What is your name again?
Coombs.
Coombs.
Yeah. They call him Chuchu.
Yeah. Chuchu. Okay, good.
He's a fisherman. He was fishing here. It's producer Wharf.
Okay.
Yeah, right here is the producer Wharf. Right here. Right at the almond tree.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where they used to prepare the bananas. Yeah, they just showed us the concrete thing there. They used to wash them and clean them up and
they wash it up there.
Yeah.
And what else now is United Wharf.
Oh, United Wharf is down here.
United Fruit Company responsible.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Oh, you heard of it?
I have, big. Yeah, well, that's before they left Jamaica, see? They take...
yes, I know, it's producer Wharf. Where it says standard. Is a man named Walker responsible.
Right, because they call it Walker's Wharf.
Yeah,
okay.
See, when you meet the elders,
I do.
when you meet the elders,
everybody know is Zika Magnus.
Say that once more.
Magnus.
Okay.
Magnus. Zika.
Okay.
Magnus.
Okay.
Yeah. I am Mr. White.
Mr. White.
Mr. White was copper.
Okay.
Not banana. Copper.
Ah, copper.
Copper. Then I work on the ship.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I work on the ship. Dance? Yeah, man, we can't dance down there. We work for dance, man. We for music. We for music. We for music down there, man. All them big sound from Kingston come there.
Yeah.
Yeah, producer Wharf.
And so how would the sound set up? Did they have a little shed for them to play under?
Yeah, man, big shed, man.
Okay.
Big shed, no little shed, big shed. Roll of the arm, you off it off.
And what kind of music did they play? They play ska music? Did they play old-time, like Mento?
American music, man, that time.
Say again?
American music.
Yeah, R&B,
reggae
rhythm and blues.
Not reggae.
Rhythm and blues?
Yeah, blues.
Shuffle?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, American music that time. I know same thing now with Jamaican music.
Today, Standard Wharf is a protected area to preserve the fish population. You can still see the bins where they would prepare the bananas to be washed and cleaned to be loaded up onto the boats. Altary Beach in St. Ann was another location where George Edwards of King Edward's Sound System purchased a lease for the property with the intention of buying the property outright. That was back in the year 1965. George was thinking that even large cruise ships with tourists could stop there and visit the beach. Again, dancegoers would be transported from Kingston on Sundays to visit this location. George even did his one and only live stage show of sorts when he hired Carlos Malcolm and the Afro-Jamaican Rhythms to play there. Cox and Dodd did the same, where he would keep dances on the beach at the South Coast and the North Coast, oftentimes with the Scatolites band playing during the years that they were in existence. This was a good spot for King Edward's to play. They had one of their most successful dances of all time here. King Edward's planned on titling this location King Edward's Lawn. Unfortunately, George felt that it was only going to be prosperous during holiday times, and otherwise it would be a seldom visited beach. And George was right. As you can see here, it still remains a beach with very little traffic to this very day. Be on the lookout here at YouTube on channel Jamaica 809 or on the general internet at reggaejamaicaway.com. We'll have more of the King Edward's Dance Tour, visiting more locations in Kingston. And for the complete story of King Edward's sound system and Jamaican sound system culture from the 1940s, 50s, and 60s, check out Amazon.com for the new book called Two Kings, King Edward's The Giant Sound System. Get your copy today.
Here on Jamaica Way.